Will Brooks is a guy that's played a lot of football here, but what's he done this offseason maybe to put himself in position to play even more?
His preparation, obviously he's an everyday, consistent player that's very detailed about whether it's in meetings, whether we're off the field, whether even if we're, taking a day off, he's somebody that we're leaning on for leadership because he's been here for a long time and he's done it the right way. Obviously his teammates respect him tremendously, and he's been very consistent. That's the best thing I can say about Will. There's no really up and down, and like I said, the players are being led the right way.
Brent.
Coach, I know there's a lot of time still left here, but where are you in finding the pieces to the puzzle? Do you think back there with the secondary? How close do you feel like you are to sort of sorting things out?
I think we've got multiple guys in multiple positions, right? That we want to feel good about, and we are feeling good about. This obviously, being on a 10th practice. We want competition, and we've got that in every position. And I'm not just saying corner. I'm just talking about whether it's two corners on each side, or two guys at star, two guys at the boundary safety, or two guys at the strong safety. And there's more guys, okay? And I've said before, our versatility, which we recruited, allows us to be able to move guys around and play the best players. The guys that are performing and making the plays on a consistent basis. So we're in a good place right now. We just got to continue to improve each and every day like we're doing right now.
Ryan.
Where are you guys at in the star competition since Jordan Thompson now?
You asked about star?
Yeah.
Yeah. Christian Harrison and Boo Carter are taking the bulk of the reps. We know in the back of our minds that we have others that have played the position, whether it's Will, Brooks, or we have the versatility where it's Andre Turntime. But the two guys right now that are competing is Christian and Boo, and they're doing a really good job.
Patrick, and then back to Brent.
Willie, how have you seen Jordan Matthews sort of continue to grow as he goes into his second season?
Jordan's done a really nice job. It really started back in the spring. You can see the improvement, the confidence. You're seeing a lot more consistency in the playmaking, but he's had a tremendous summer. He's one of the guys that were singled out, as having a great summer in the weight room, obviously on the field. He's a smart player. He's making a bunch of plays here in camp, that's built some confidence. And it's really great to see. He's a very, like I said, he's a guy who's smart. He's got great size, great ability, and it's good consistency. It's good to see.
We'll go to Adam next.
Well, in your career, you've coached guys on the sideline through a headset when you're upstairs. You've been on the sideline face to face with a blackboard. Now there's iPads out there. What did you think of that Friday night, dealing with that in the scrimmage? What are the pros and cons to having that technology on the sidelines as an assistant coach trying to communicate adjustments and things like that to your players?
Yeah, again, we're getting used to it right now. Obviously, we're trying to practice that. We did it for the first time. And the one thing I can tell you is, obviously, from an efficiency standpoint, we just got to be better at organizing it. But when we came off, it's easier to show a picture of something, obviously, and seeing the play as if it just happened, 5 minutes ago. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good thing for all of us. Once we get where we feel comfortable in doing it and how fast you do it, the organization. But you're showing them the picture as opposed to drawing it on a board, and they can actually see where they lined up, and so I think it's going to be very efficient.
Adam and Rick in the back.
Last couple of years, you've had a lot of different guys that have played a lot of football together. You have different pieces you're fitting together now, whether freshmen or transfers or whatever. Can you simulate cohesiveness, or can you tell once you have their cohesiveness of the whole secondary before playing a game?
Again, we have the same standards and expectations at each position, right? No different than us at defensive back, and we've got a great mixture of guys that have been here, right? And then obviously we've got the young, talented players that are coming in inexperienced that lack the reps. we've done a really good job from the time they stepped on campus, right, with that leadership, and every day holding them up to the standard and expectations. And it's obviously a lot easier when you have a really good room, okay, a good culture, and they've seen others do it that have had success in the past, and so the cohesiveness would just come from consistency and guys making plays, you know, and again, that's, I love the room, I really do, I love the group. I think it's one of the best groups I've ever been around in my career, and they care about each other, they hold each other accountable. It's not a bunch of yelling and screaming, man, it's really structured, it's really cool. We've said it before, I think the staff has said it, and you know, it's a lot different than it was the first year or the second year, you know. It's running on its own gas now, you know. It's kind of hard for me to get my points in when somebody does make a mistake, you know, somebody's correcting, somebody's standing right there, you know, I got it, coach, you know, and that's kind of cool to see. So, man, if you have that with the talent and skill that we have, we just got to be consistent every day, you know.
We'll go Rick, and then Brian, and then Austin.
Coach, you kind of answered it right there, but through 10 practices, what's made you surprise you or stood out about your group to you?
Again, you know, it's nice, we got 4 turnovers today, right? And the playmaking on the ball, actually catching it. We had a couple of drops a couple of practices ago, but they're having fun. You know, you can see whether it's a young guy or whether it's an older guy, the encouragement, you know, not letting guys get down when things go wrong, you know. I guess the next play mentality of their personality and their, you know, it's kind of cool to see, man. And again, it's not perfect, but there's a lot more of that going on than the other way. And so again, like I said, yeah, it was a really good day, get some turnovers today, and that always helps, right? On defense, you're changing the momentum of the game.
Ryan, and then Austin.
What's Jermod McCoy done to impress you guys this camp, and how far has he come since he arrived on campus?
Yeah, the first thing I'll say about Jermod, he's such a great teammate, you know. You come from a different situation, okay, and obviously in the dynamics of college football now, right? Different team last year. He comes to our program, man, and you know, he is who he says he was, you know, high character, you know, he's a great player, but gosh dog, he's a great kid, you know, he's a great young man, and coming into our room, he knows exactly how to feel, you know, had a good feel for the room, the awareness of fitting in, and he's led, he's not the loudest guy, but you know, just little things, you know, where guys might be complaining or not sure about something, man, you know, there's always a positive spin to it. He sees that glass half full. And I've noticed that from the beginning, is the consistency every day. He's a very competitive person, both on and off the field. And he's a playmaker, you know. He's one of those guys that just got one of the turnovers today, you know, and when he doesn't get something or it doesn't happen for him, man, he's harder on himself. And the teammates see that, players see that. And so he's not much of a talker, you know, he's kind of more, I'm gonna do what I'm saying, you know, I'm gonna do, and it leads by a great example, you know, he's setting the example every day.
Austin, and then we'll do Paige.
Well, talk about Caleb Beasley, that was in this spring, after he got hurt, but how's he rebounding from that, and what have you seen out of him these first 10 or so days?
Yeah, man, he's rebounded really well. You know, obviously it's great to have Bees out there, and his versatility, he's a smart player, you know, and he's really shown some consistency. Okay, he's obviously was really rusty. He didn't have the reps that some of the young players had, obviously from January. But again, you can see the playmaking ability that he had when he was in high school, and he's made some of those plays, and it's really good. No, he's gotten better and better each day.
A few more, Paige, Eric, Ben, and then we'll finish with Wes.
How has guys like Chris Brazel continued to test and challenge your DBs?
Every day. His speed, his competitiveness. Like, you know, Braz is very competitive and plays with a lot of fire and energy. We better do that on our side of the ball, right? I mean, that's what, you gotta have great energy and stuff like that, but very competitive, high level player, so that's only gonna make us better. And we got a great group of wide receivers, you know, that, again, they're gonna be playing on Sundays, right? So it's easy for my job to just tell the kids, hey man, you want a great resume, put it on video. You know, put it on video against these guys who are gonna be playing on Sunday. And Braz Martinez is one of those guys, highly competitive, physical player, not very quiet, you know, it's kind of cool. That's kind of like we like it, and, but he's making us better.
Eric?
No, he was limited a little bit at first, but what is Jalen Murray kind of bringing to your room, and what do you envision his role this season?
Yeah, again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, man. Small details matter to him. You know, locked in and focused in a meeting, coaching the younger players that are sitting right next to him, and not just when they make a mistake, but also, you know, he'll point something out, man. Now listen, just look at here. He's kind of telling them they had this call, play it like this. You know, so he's a great teammate. He wants everybody to be really good, and then on the field, a lot of energy. He wears it on his sleeve, man. I'm telling you, his personality is really cool. He's totally different when he's on the field, and guys feel that. I think the opponent feels it, our offense, but it's great to have Jalen here. He's another guy that's very consistent, and coming back, you know, had a little bump in the road here, man. He's really come on strong here in the last couple of practices.
Ben, and we'll finish with Wes.
Willie, why has Boo positioned himself to play as a true freshman, and not just play, but start potentially as a true freshman at a very important position?
I mean, he's a really good player. The guy's so talented, you know. And really, I mean, he's very competitive. And I just said it, he's very athletic. So he's versatile. I mean, you know, Boo can play a lot of positions. You know, we're just putting him right in a position where where you have to make plays. I mean, you gotta be really good at the star. You know, those are the position in our defense that schematically, he's gonna be involved almost in every play. And start off by his athleticism, his competitiveness, his love for the game. You can see it both on and off the field, and it's great to have it because he's gonna compete on every play.
Wes, last question.
Willie, was there a point during Will Brooks' career where you thought you saw enough to say, you know what, maybe this isn't just a special teams guy, maybe this guy can kind of help me on the back end of the defense?
Yeah. Again, we're the back end, right? We deal with space. What better example if you're doing it on special teams? I'm telling you, my entire career, the great players that I've been very blessed to be a part of in their lives were great special teams players. I mean, really, in space. So anytime the guy's making consistently plays in space, doesn't matter what teams he's on, it's got transferable skills to play offense and defense. And for us, you know, for most of it, it's all defense, right? Some of the same terminology is on special teams, it's and he then being a smart player, translating that to defense. It's always been simple for Will. And again, consistent. He's a consistent guy you can count on every day, every drill. I just heard him, like I just said a little while ago, I can't get a word in, especially if Will Brooks, he's in my pod in these special team groups. You know, obviously we've got 8 to 10 guys, and I want to go correct the guy, and Will's already beat me there, you know, and sometimes he says it better than I do, you know, from a standpoint of personality, because he keeps me in check myself, you know, about not losing it when you're trying to correct somebody. So you saw from the beginning, because again, he made some plays in space, and then, okay, you watch him in the meeting room, and gosh, he's all over the scheme, he understands it, and you knew that he was gonna have success here.
Thanks, Coach.